Morning again. So right now I am working on doing a hardware cloth skirting around the chicken run because there are several gaps along the bottom and predators could easily get in. So I want to make sure that if we're gone during the day, we can have the chickens in the run safely without having to worry about predators getting to them. And what I'm going to do is I'm taking zip ties. And these are the 8-inch zip ties that are up to 75 lbf loop tensile strength. And I'm just going every 4 squares and connecting those, connecting the hardware cloth to the actual fencing and railing of the chicken run. And then later we're also going to put hardware cloth on the whole run, but right now we're just doing the skirting. So I'm working on that at the moment, and I've got about 1 1/4 sides almost completely finished. I've still got 1, 2 and another 1/4 sides to go. I've done the door already. I did that a few weeks ago, I think. So I'm doing this right now. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going under the base of the chicken run. And wrapping it through. And then I'm making sure I only get 1 wire from the hardware cloth. Just because it's a lot easier to get a tighter seal on it doing it that way. And then when I get done with this process, I'm actually going to use these cinder blocks here and put them on top of the skirting to try to just hold it down that much better. Hold on, let me try something else. That's better. Okay, you might not be able to see my face the whole time, but this is what we got going. Okay. So I'm just doing every 4, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then looping it through. This is really difficult to do with all the wire and everything we already have on here. But I'm getting it done slowly but surely. And sometimes the ties just don't make that way either. I prefer the longer zip ties because they are easier to get a hold of sometimes, but they're more expensive. So we're going the cost-effective route and going shorter. And then sometimes this stuff just gets stubborn and doesn't want to go where you want it to go. There we go. Basically, I just keep wiggling everything until it gets to where I want it to be. I'm going to pull this back a bit. I did trim back this forsythia bush because it was right up against the fence and there was no way I was going to get in there. So I used my handy dandy garden shears and trimmed back the branches that were all in this area. And now I can get in here and get this done. I'm going to keep on repositioning and going through. I've already got all the way to that post done. I've just got to get this little section finished. And then I can move on to the next step, which is putting those cinder blocks on there. 4. It's a little bit difficult where the grass is thick too because the grass is starting to dry out. So it's getting really bristly and stiff and it's hard to get in there and get the twist tie or the zip ties through. Ignore the faces I make when I'm concentrating. I can make some pretty funny faces sometimes. And I don't always realize I'm doing it. And I'm just kind of using my foot to shove the hardware cloth up against the fencing so I can get it in the position I want it to be in. And I'm basically trying to get this so that it all lays as flat as physically possible, both against the actual chicken wire and against the ground, which is why I've done the top row of zip ties to hold it in place up here, and then I'm also doing the bottom row to hold it in place down here, so that way it'll be more of a snug fit against the run. Get in here. The chickens have been super curious about what I'm doing. One of the hens actually came over and pecked my finger a few times. It's kind of funny. And then when she realized my finger was not food, she kind of looked at me sideways like, what the heck's going on here? And I'm using this box kind of a padding for me to sit on because there are still some sticks sticking out of the ground that are still growing. And I didn't want to like completely cut them because I would like for it to grow back once we get this put in. But I didn't want to be, you know, sitting on sharp sticks either. So little branches and stuff. Big old pile of dirt right here. I can't get, there we go. Come on. You gotta really work with it too because these zip ties are really hard to wrap around. And I've got a lot of zip ties in here already because they were holding the chicken wire on. So I'm trying to just kind of lead in between the zip ties I already have. And just get it in some open areas so it'll actually hold well and not be loose because of there being other stuff there. I want it to be as tight and flush against it as I can possibly get it. Don't need to stop fighting over the food. There's plenty. Plenty for everybody. 4. Ow. And then sometimes my fingers and stuff. And that doesn't feel good. I'm about to run out of time, but I will check back in and let y'all know when I've gotten all this done.